Namaste everyone. Welcome to the Cārvāka podcast. This is your host Kushalmehra. So today's podcast is let me explain why we are discussing this because I think it's a very important podcast. First of all, in this year 2024, running up to the Lok Sabha elections, I just want to announce that this is not the only time Pradeep is going to come. Time and again on this podcast, up to our run up to the Lok Sabha, Pradeep is going to appear time and again. We are going to do analysis, situational analysis. Key moments in the election, and I think what happened yesterday, and Pradeep reached out to me and he was basically going back and forth with me, and he said, what do you make of Congress's refusal to attend the Pran Pratishtha ceremony of yesterday, and they wrote the basic general letter stating, I don't know, they just gave an absurd reason that BJP has made it political, etc., etc. Now, I don't want to get into whether Congress is justified or not. That's not the crux of our issue. The crux is that Pradeep is a trained psephologist, a political analyst, and we are basically looking at the political fallout of this. So before anything else, Pradeep, welcome, brother, and thanks for coming.
Thank you so much, Kushal. And I had a special haircut for your podcast. Honestly, I was in the parlor before the podcast. I thought of being very formal in your podcast because it said that it has a very, very important audience base. So I had to dress up well.
Yeah, खींच ले मेरी, खींच ले.
So I'm factually not inaccurate.
Yeah. So, okay. So, let me start here. When you forget, you know, see, I've been very open. I'm an open BJP voter. Forget all of that. Like, my first reaction, and I'm sharing my reaction when I read that letter on Twitter, right? Because nowadays we get all our news on Twitter. And when I read that letter and I read that news segment that Congress has decided to decline the invitation to attend the Pran Pratishtha of this Ram Janmabhoomi, Ram Mandir, you know, my first reaction was, as a political analyst, I was like, do they want to finish off themselves? So first question to you is, how did you think as an analyst when you read that news, just as a news segment, not as a Ram Bhakt, as a news segment?
So I was not surprised, honestly, as a psephologist when I read that as a psephologist and a journalist. I was preempting that, Kushal, and I had two specific reasons to preempt that. Now, let me throw a data point. The Congress party historically has fought in more than 400 Lok Sabha seats since 1951, since the time Indian elections, since the first Lok Sabha. In the last 17 Lok Sabha, Congress party has fought on more than 400 seats on an average. Even in 2014 and 2019, the Congress party fought on more than 400 seats. Now, if you remember, before this letter was in circulation, there was a very important news segment which a lot of people missed, and that is that the Congress is planning to contest in only 255 seats. So they are willing to negotiate more than 150 seats, which have always been Congress seats, which have historically since 1951 is where Congress has fought. In order to form this alliance, the Congress party is willing to negotiate that. Now, this is politically a suicidal mission because when you do a negotiation, you never let your core areas where you are fighting, that is not what you give away to your alliance partners at such a disproportionate level. So I am completely clear that the Congress has got it all wrong, and the Congress accepts that it is no longer a mainstream political party which can get Hindi heartland votes, leave Hindi heartlands, larger part of the geography of India, it is not able to get, and somehow it is acknowledging it. Otherwise, no political party, which in 2014 also, Kushal, even in 2014 it fought on more than 400. In 2019 also it's the same. Along with that, so what? In order for this alliance to loosely be present, or for the Congress to stitch this alliance, the only vote bank which the Congress party can ride on in present era is the Muslim vote, to be very, very clear. And this is the vote which helps it get the majority seats in Kerala. So the Congress still is living in that notion where in order to appease the Muslim vote, it is somehow the thinkers of the Congress feel that if you treat the Muslims equally or provide equal treatment to the Muslim vote, they will not vote en masse to you. So, and this is not an earlier, this is not the first time that the Congress is thinking. If you remember, during the time of Rajiv Gandhi, where the Congress party overturned the Supreme Court order in the Shah Bano case, the precise thinking was that in order to get en masse Muslim vote, we have to give special treatment. So, the Congress party not appearing is a signal to the larger Muslim vote, which the Congress feels will go to it en masse in the 2024 election, and it acknowledging the fact that majority Hindu votes do not come. The Nyaya Yatra, Bharat Jodo Yatra 2.0 is an attempt to divide the Hindus in based of caste lines. That is why if you see the entire political grammar has been about Dalit, Pichda, Adivasi. It's not been about the Hindu. Just a small 5 second point. Along with that, somehow the Sonia Gandhi and her family is not able to digest that a man like Narendra Modi, who they went on for more than 10 years, and despite that, the man has now become the most popular one of the most popular global leader and the most popular prime minister, and they personally have to sit in an audience in front of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So this is something which their whole ego is not also able to digest. And in essence, since Sonia Gandhi's era, Kushal, the Congress has become a party which appeases the minorities, particularly the Muslims. And this is where they have always thought that the quote unquote the Hindu faith, earlier it used to work, but they're still not able to digest that in post 2014 era, the politics has completely changed and the Hindu consciousness has become predominant. So these are multiple reasons. So I was not surprised the day Congress decided that to trade off more than 150 seats to an alliance partners.
And what was even, I mean, I'm not going to say it's like, on one hand, they have refused to attend the Pran Pratishtha of the Ram Mandir. And then I came across this letter that was shared by Aditya Raj Kaul on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to share this letter. I mean, what is this political outfit doing? This is Kushal, the analyst, ladies and gentlemen, not Kushal, the BJP voter. This is a letter written by Sonia Gandhi, where she was basically could not attend the canonization ceremony of Mother Teresa, and she was really regretting it in 2016. It's the All India Congress Committee, 30th August 2016. What is wrong with these people? Like, they were clearly interested in attending this, but could not. And here, they don't.
See,
How stupid they are.
so it is not. It is the Antonia Mino in the Sonia Gandhi, the real name of Sonia Gandhi, that is driving all these decisions. This is where you see a large difference. But any political outfit, irrespective of a leader's bias, always takes feedback from the ground. And the Congress Party, as I said, particularly for Sonia Gandhi, Antonia Mino, she's, as I said, she's not been able to digest the fact that Narendra Modi, who was the chief minister of Gujarat, who they tried to, get into a lot of cases, became the prime minister in 2014. In 2014, they thought that 2014 is an aberration. Now in 2019, he came back with a larger mandate. They said that, okay, fine, 10 years is understandable. We can still approve the man. Now, even their feedback report from the ground is suggesting, and Salman Khurshid's statement said that 2024 is not end of the road, acknowledging the fact that the Congress party does not have any chance in 2024. So he becomes the person who will now govern the country for 15 years as the first non-BJP prime minister to do that, equaling the record of Jawaharlal Nehru. So this is, please understand, I think it is this is something which is driving. Now another point, Kushal, which you need to understand, if you remember that many Congress units also uh, spoke out in dissent against the decision of the Congress party, and it was particularly in Himachal and Gujarat, because everybody understands what it truly means. So I am not at all surprised. And as I told you, that Congress has now become a more NGO outfit whose main objective is to rebrand Rahul Gandhi somehow, even if it does not get garner them votes. And this is what they are intending to do. It's as simple as that. They are not looking at, please understand, Congress is not looking at getting 100 seats, 150 seats, 200 seats. Absolutely not. The Congress is just hoping against hope that somehow Narendra Modi gets less than 272 seats, and it still will claim it as a matter of victory. But as of right now, from the ground, that does not seem to happen. So you might be surprised from the Congress, but trust me, Kushal, I am absolutely not surprised. And they are particularly the if you look at the narratives of the Congress, Kushal, North versus South divide. Moment the BJP won the elections, Karti Chidambaram's tweet from the southern part that it is South which speaks. Now they're acknowledging, understanding that even in Karnataka and Telangana, the BJP can do well. In Tamil Nadu, it is giving an honest fight on the ground. It is trying to build its party. So the Congress is squeezing every passing day. And if I give you one data point, which you will be very interesting to note, because you have called me as a psephologist first and a journalist later, is that the strike rate of the Congress party in 2014, Kushal, was 9.56 percentage. That for the first time since independence, Kushal, the strike rate of the Congress party fell less than 25 percentage points, which is never happened with the Congress ever. That was 2014 was that moment. This is where they say that 2014 is that inflection point. In 2019 also, the strike rate of the Congress party was around the 12 percentage mark. Now, if in 2024 the Congress falls to less than 15 percentage strike rate, this will be a huge thing, which means that you can conclude with affirmation that now you are living in Modi led BJP system of politics. We have acknowledged that, but it is something which will become a trend. So, like Jawaharlal Nehru had formed a trend for the Congress to continue in power for at least 3 to 4 decades. If this is something which continues in 2024 and the Congress limits itself to a double digit party with less than 15% strike rate, then please note this down, that it is we can conclude with affirmation. And with the Congress party, with the step to not go at Prabhu Sri Ram's Pran Pratishtha, has completely shot itself in the foot. And this tells you how disconnected the Congress is from the ground reality. And this is where the differentiation is about between Narendra Modi and Congress, Kushal. That Narendra Modi is expanding his social base. If you remember, some time back, he even met the Muslim leaders. There is an Alan Modi which is taking place in Dubai, which will be the biggest ever, diaspora event of a global leader in Dubai on February 13. So he's ever expanding as a unit, Kushal, and Congress is ever contracting as a unit, Kushal, because Modi does not work with ego, he works with feedback from the ground. Congress is driven by ego, personal biases, and also some of large section of Hindu hate.
So let us spend a little more time on this
Five
NGO
seconds.
thing.
One very important 5 seconds. I'll tell you what the strategy of the Congress is, Kushal. The Congress party, after the 22nd, will say there will be few Congress leaders who will go on the 24th or the 25th to do darshan of Prabhu Sri Ram's Mandir, and then say, we did not go on the 22nd because it was a BJP event, but we believe in Prabhu Sri Ram, so we went on the 24th or the 25th. But all of that does not work. People on the ground can read between the lines and can see.
Now,
But this is the
I want to break this NGO bit a little more, if you don't mind. Now, a lot of people say this Congress has started thinking like an NGO, but uh, like don't NGO have NGO? Hear me out and try and understand what I'm trying to say, and I'll try my best to explain myself as clearly as possible. Listen, we all know when Congress was in power, the policy making landscape was completely in the hands of the NGO kind of people. If you remember that organization that had proposed the communal violence bill, I forgot the name of the organization. क्या था?
Harsh Mandar's organization was there.
Harsh Mandir's organization and all these people. So at the
NAC.
end of NAC, yes, National Advisory Council. Thanks, yeah,
Yes,
thanks for.
where the chairperson was Sonia Gandhi. It was an extra
Uh,
constitutional body which was made with Sonia Gandhi as the chairperson, with Harsh Mandar and the likes of Harsh Mandar becoming in the recommendation. Manmohan Singh used to work on that.
yeah. So we could see the trends of Congress and Congress policy making using the NGO route all the time since even when they were in power. Now, has any analysis being done numerically how those policies that were given as inputs, and a lot of them were incorporated, like the horrifying communal violence bill? Like, if there ever was a horrifying bill that I have read in my life, it is the communal violence bill that de facto considers the Hindu as a culprit no matter what. I mean, when I had read that bill, I remember it so vividly. It was a decade ago, and I was like,
Yes.
damn, these people are so pure evil. Now, how okay, they lost. how can they not dump the NSE model? Even are we saying that even today, as of now, the same NSE-ish people advise Rahul Gandhi?
Can I be very direct with you?
Sure, man.
Chairperson of NAC was Sonia Gandhi. So are you suggesting that the Congress needs to dump Sonia Gandhi? That's what you
Hmm.
suggest.
Hmm.
You have to.
Congress needs to dump Sonia and Rahul Gandhi both. I'm going a
That is
step ahead.
when that will happen, you will see all of this being done. So please understand, Kushal, let us not pass the buck. That is the NGOs who are advising. The genesis of it was from Sonia Gandhi's thinking and Sonia Gandhi's way of conditioning. That is what had governed it. So this will continue. This NGO model, which is the Sonia Gandhi model, will continue very factually till the time Sonia Gandhi is at helm of the Congress Party, the Gandhi family at the helm of the Congress Party. Because please understand the difference, and allow me to give you a difference. Please understand how do they work. Sonia Gandhi and Sonia and Rahul posted a video of making that on showing how glamorously they were making jam, which in a European context they call as the marble. I don't remember the name, but it was a glorified version of jam which they were making. On that day, Narendra Modi was conversing with the 10th crore Ujjwala beneficiary, and Sonia Gandhi was saying, "Whenever I used to come from abroad, one thing that I missed was arhar ki dal." Come on, boss, in an age of social media, people will look at this as completely colonial and European way of thinking. It used to work before Kushal because information decentralization was not there. But as I said, that they are still living in that era, and this is we analysts till now have said, oh, NGOs govern it. I somehow disagree. And I say it's the Sonia Gandhi who was the chairperson of all of it, and it is Sonia Gandhi who implemented it. So it's as simple as that. So if you want the NGO model of the Congress to be dumped, please ask for Congress to go beyond Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi, which does not look so happening in the near future. So I
So,
don't think that happens.
so Pradeep, another counter to this, I hear from, listen, we all have friends who are Congressis. I mean, I have Congressi friends. I'm not going to deny.
By the way,
Every
just
time
to
I,
inform you, one of the very strong, very senior leader of the Congress from the state where you live right now in Maharashtra, in Mumbai, Murli Devra's son, Milind Devra, has now moved to Eknath Shinde's Shiv Sena.
yeah. I mean, we've heard a news segment. Milind officially has denied it, but
All the
let's see what
Congresses are
happens.
becoming Bhagwai because
Yeah,
of power.
yeah. So every time I have this discussion with folks in the Congress, they say the Congress will break without the Gandhis. Again, how much truth is there to this very analysis or argument?
So let us understand the birth of the Congress, right? The Congress pre-independence is not the Congress post-independence. The pre-independence was a freedom movement where people from different walks of life came together for a common goal. Congress is not an ideological outfit. If you ask anyone to define the ideology of the Congress party, they will give you one paragraph answer. They cannot give you a one word answer. If you ask a BJP led guy, they say our say ideology is Hindutva, which is governed by an cadre of the RSS, right? So for the Congress party, it has never been a cadre-based party. The other cadre-based outfit has been the left, the CPIM and all, who've governed for long. So Congress was always a group of people who post independence had a mechanism to uh, be near power and always be in power. They had access to resources, and whether it is the Jansangh or the BJP, it took them years to years to become as an alternate political unit. So during Jawaharlal Nehru's time, if Shyama Prasad Mukherjee tried to make an alternate political unit, he was crushed, Ambedkar was defeated, and so on and so forth. Then when for once the Congress party went into the hands of Shastri, that is when the advisors of the Congress party were very close to Jawaharlal Nehru at the time, said that, who started to feel that level of insecurity, they got Indira back. And then it was Indira era which governed, where again there was no opposition. So per se, that India was in a single party rule largely from 50s onwards to mid 80s. In late 80s is when Johnson got 2 seats roughly. So to cut the long story short, yes, I do agree that majority people in the Congress feel that. More than that, Kushal, let me put it this way. They know that if the Congress breaks, there is no main mechanism for the Congress party to re-emerge and redevelop itself. That is the issue. So they believe that Gandhi is the only glue because there is no ideology. There is no proper mechanism to get people into the party. That is how it is there. So if you know a leader, you get into it. But for the BJP, let's imagine that the BJP system currently goes out after a certain time, but the RSS is a way, means and mechanism to get people back into the political unit. It's very, very important to understand. And it is not just the government which is keeping the RSS led ideological BJP guys together. It is more than that. And these guys, after 10 years, 15 years, can still claim onto the power. The Congress has never experienced that in 50, 60 years. So 2014 was new for the Congress, Kushal. And now for 15 years, the Congress will not be in power. So they do not risk out. They think that, okay, Rahul is the problem, so we will have Priyanka. So all this, पहले उनको लगता था Rahul, they have still not been getting over Rahul Gandhi phenomena, quote unquote, which has been relaunched 50 times. So imagine a scenario where there are Rahul and Priyanka camp, then they will spend another 10 to 15 years in Priyanka's camp. And they feel that Rahul is only 52. So even if we do Sangharsh to 20 years, he will still be 72 and try to be the prime ministerial Umidwar from the Congress party, or project somebody who can be a dummy Umidwar. For example, Kharge. The attempt to project Kharge was precisely that. So, Kushal, yes, Congress is in a chakravyuh where it cannot get out. So it will win some states elections, Kushal, here and there based on state leadership. But nationally, if the Congress is at less than 15% strike rate in 2019, you can imagine a situation where the Congress will find it very difficult. Not Congress, Gandhi family. But there is a caveat to it. And allow me by 5 seconds of time to mention that caveat. Please understand, Kushal, one thing which people are not seeing, but only one man is seeing, which is Prime Minister Narendra Modi today in the BJP, is that now large chunk of voters in this country are born in the BJP era. They have more and more people who had seen the UPA 1, 2 and earlier and will start reducing in this country as a swing vote base. So which means that there is a natural chance of people to get disenchanted. Right now, they are not because of Narendra Modi, who is provides the phenomenon of pro-incumbency. But after that, how does the BJP take itself forward will be very, very interesting to see, whether it is in 2029 or it is beyond that. I don't know. But this is where other outfits can have a chance. But here also, India cannot and will not tolerate an explicitly anti-Hindu outfit. And on the national level, the Gandhis are looked precisely like that. So they will win states like Karnataka and others where there are state issues which drive. But when it comes to the larger national level, particularly when Narendra Modi is there, you cannot have a chance with the Gandhi family. There is, if you do a poll on the ground, the positivity for Gandhi family is not even 23% in the country. Not even 23%. This is why Congress has not been able to get even a single extra vote than what it got in 2009. In 2009, 2014, 2019, the Congress has roughly polled on the national elections votes between 10 to 11 crore 10 lakhs. That has been constant. Whereas more than 15 crore votes have been added by, which have not been the cadre vote of the BJP or the Congress, that have been the new voters which have come in by the BJP. So it will be interesting to see that as these new voters poll after 2024 on the national level in 2029, can the BJP get them with the same proportion, or the Congress quote unquote rebrands itself to get that chunk of vote. But with the Gandhis, it is very difficult.
So basically, what has happened with the Congress at a core level is, since the 1970s transformation of Congress to Congress I'm talking about when Morarji Desai split, and basically there were two Congresses, and so the Congress capture by the Gandhi family. I think Nehru did not capture it at a level that Indira Gandhi did, and then after Indira Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi, and then Sonia Gandhi really did a number on the Congress party. Now I want to take you slightly back to the last 5 elections, because I think it has everything to do with this Ram Mandir issue and the Lok Sabha narrative. Is that you mentioned the Congress being convinced that Muslims need to be kind of approached way beyond, right? They need to be appeased way beyond the normal barometer that is needed. That I mean, I'm trying to put it in that context. But then in the last state elections, at least in the Hindi heartland, in the Muslim dominated seats, what was the result where Muslims were a significant electoral factor?
So I've been saying this, and I think even communicated. And when we were having a conversation earlier, I said that India has moved away from Muslim veto in elections to a Mahila veto in elections. So it is a shift of one
इसको
M.
समझा, इसको डिटेल से समझा, ये मुस्लिम टू महिला वीटो शिफ्ट को डिटेल से समझाओ प्लीज.
So if you look at any election in this country post 2014, 90% of the elections have been won by parties which have got majority women vote. So I now in the last 9 years, if you see the trend, that wherever the women of the country have voted, whether it is the state election or the national election, those are the that respected political party or a leader has come into power. That has been the dominating, that has been the only consistent phenomena in any election where the leader has won in the last 9 years. Other phenomena, other factors change. So whether it is Yogi Adityanath in 2022, whether it is Narendra Modi ji in 2014 or 19, whether it is BJP right now in Madhya Pradesh, whether it is Rajasthan right now, whether it is Chhattisgarh right now, whether it is Kejriwal in Delhi, whether it is Mamta in Bengal, whether it is DMK in Tamil Nadu, wherever if you see majority women vote have polled, that party has won. Earlier, it was the phenomena was that wherever the majority Muslim votes poll, that is the party which has won. They have an impact, but their veto has gone away, and their parity to impact the election has also gone away. Which means that earlier, if a constituency had 30% Muslim votes, it was taken as given that it will be won by the party which gets that 30%. But now, but this phenomena, I can tell you, post 2018, post 2017 particularly, it is not you can even if you have a 30% Muslim base, it is not necessary that you will be able to win that election based on that base vote. So I'll give you an example. Like in Meerut in 2019, large chunk of Muslim votes, 90% of the Muslims did not vote the BJP, but the BJP candidate ended up winning more than 2.5 lakh votes, because the entire en masse of 70%, 60% of that voted for Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So in Bengal, wherever the demography is more than 35%, that is where the veto still exists, because the ability for the Muslims to come together and vote as bloc is more than the Hindus. Now, allow me to make put one specific referencing. Why, we've been hearing this term of communal politics since long, Kushal. And if you see, since at least last 20 years, what I have seen is that the indication has been given that the birth of communal politics has happened since the post the demolition of the Babri Masjid and then the Ram Mandir movement. This is what generally the leftist intellectual historians say. But let's understand where is the genesis of the communal politics. The genesis of the communal politics happened post-independence, when Jawaharlal Nehru started to believe, and the Congress party started to believe, on this formula of uniting the Muslim votes and dividing the Hindu votes. And precisely when you, as a political electoral strategy, went towards that direction, this is where the genesis of the communal politics took place. So the genesis of the communal politics did not happen in 1990s. It happened in the 1950s under Nehru era, which peaked under Rajiv Gandhi's era, and then Sonia also followed that. 2014 was for the first time in the history of Indian independence, post-Indian independence, where the Hindus voted in a significant portion against this policy of considering the minority vote as a special vote. Other factors are also important. So this has been the complete transition shift which has taken place, and this is so constituencies where the Muslim vote is 35% or plus, there it still exists as largely as a veto, some specific issues aside. Places where it was 30, it is 30%. Earlier it used to be considered as a veto, but now 30-25% still you can easily win. So this is where places where the demographic is 35% or 35% plus, majorly in the Bengal and other areas. Some places in Assam where Ajmal comes from, this is where they are considered as veto places. And there it's not the vote on largely on development others, it is an en masse vote which is on the basis of panth, which is religion. So again, I ask those proponents who question about communal politics, and this is what does not make me believe, but data tells me that genesis of communal politics starts taking place where the Muslim vote goes en masse with the party, because the tendency of the Hindu vote to unite is only when the Hindu vote sees excessive appeasement. This is why you see Hindus need issues, and because of the Hindu vote shifting from one party to other is when you have state election verdicts shifting. So Hindu voter is more democratic per se, more democratic. A Hindu voter does not vote on the basis of only religious line, but a Muslim voter particularly that votes more as en bloc. So that phenomena works in 35% places now, no longer in 30% minority constituencies.
So after this snub to the Ram Mandir Pran Pratishtha invite, what can the Congress expect? What is loosely called the Hindi heartland? And it's very funny. I mean, Hindi heartland also keeps extending now. If BJP wins Karnataka, even Karnataka becomes Hindi heartland. Odd days it is Hindi heartland, even days it is not Hindi heartland. But loosely Hindi heartland is what Gujarat, Rajasthan, MP, and all those states right up to Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and all that. So, like right now, what number of seats can Congress expect in this entire belt? More than zero?
Uh, See, any seats that the Congress will win in this belt will be only in special circumstances and very case specific circumstances. But in this entire belt, I can say that more than 90% of the seats is where the BJP is in a decisive edge. More than BJP, it is Prime Minister Narendra Modi who's at decisive edge. Also, this part of, again, I will tell you because I was in Ayodhya for 7 days, and again I will be going near the 22nd. Is that this that Prabhu Sri Ram's Mandir being built in Ayodhya is just not a Hindi heartland issue. When I was in Ayodhya, I spoke to many people who came in Kashi Tamil Sangamam and were doing the darshan of Prabhu Sri Ram. And I asked them that, how are you feeling doing darshan of Prabhu Sri Ram in Ayodhya? They said goosebumps, and we want to thank Narendra Modi for that. And similarly, I got people from Telangana also speaking in the same breath. So please let us understand that Prabhu Sri Ram's Mandir being built in Ayodhya is not just a Hindi heartland issue, it's an entire Bharatiya issue. Now, for the voter, what works in Prime Minister Narendra Modi's favor is that every other supplementing issue is also supporting him. To an instance, that I just, when I was coming to your podcast after doing a special haircut in order to ensure that I look fine, my driver was this Kushal Yadav, who is a traditional Yadav voter, and I asked him, तब तो मंदिर बन रहा है तो सब सही है. बोले भैया सिर्फ मंदिर की बात नहीं है, साथ में भारत की जो ग्लोबल अस्मिता है, जो अंतरराष्ट्रीय अस्मिता है, वो बहुत अच्छे चरम सीमा पे मोदी के अंडर. And along with that, people also get benefits on the ground, the poorest of the poor. So all of this is a very good mixture, is what I can tell you. So Mandir is a Bharatiya issue, and along with that other supplementing, it's more about Astha. I would not even say the word issue, but it's a very sentimental point. And also Kushal, people in the family is like the 18-year-old, 19-year who may not have may not be understanding the impact of it, but the dadi, the nana, or the papa in the house knows what it means. So again, that conversations are going on in every household. That is something which you need to understand in different languages.
But then let's talk about now Lok Sabha 2024. Let's get into let's get into the BJP perspective. Okay, we've given 30 odd minutes to Congress and their snubbing of the Ram Mandir Pran Pratishtha. Now how is the BJP going to spin
Congress
this?
is too confident that Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra 2.0 will help it overcome about everything.
The Nyaya Yatra, na? They are calling it the Nyaya Yatra. Yeah. So okay, but
I heard also you are also having special focus on the Nyaya Yatra.
अरे मेरे घर के बाहर पोस्टर है यार, घर के बाहर न्याय यात्रा का पोस्टर है. इतना फ्रस्ट्रेट हो रहा है देख के, रोज जाता हूँ बाहर तो उसका पोस्टर देखता हूँ. It's a damn big poster outside my house by the Congress. So it's okay. It's part of democracy. They're free to do it. But then, okay, now, like, do you think every night Mr. Modi must be sleeping कि ये है मेरी opposition?
See, I would say that if you look at Narendra Modi's trajectory since Gujarat, he's such a tall leader that wherever he comes, his social base increases. But at the same time, he's a very solid political Chanakya also. And he's had Amit Shah with him, who's a master micro strategist, that the opposition's base also reduces. This has never been the phenomenon. Even in Indra's time, Indra had a Jayaprakash Narayan who could was a moral conscience keeper who spoke against the person, against Indira Gandhi, even when Indira was at peak and there was a positivity vis-a-vis Gandhi family at that time in the country. But Narendra Modi is you just look at it, there is no comparative leader. So yeah, I can say, and even if somebody emerges, they are so smart politically, they know how to play their cards very well.
So then, how much do you think, from a BJP perspective, has okay? How does BJP look in then? Okay, I'll ask you a direct question. How does BJP look in terms of strength? Look, I have no doubts they're going to win. Like, but
It's all about the quantity of win.
yeah, it's only how big are they going to win, and where can we? Okay, Hindi heartland, yaar, wo to matlab abhi, thanks to the
See, there are
Congress
only two
and
scenarios where it is A, if the BJP voters get super confident and do not end up voting. So voting is very critical because सभी सोच रहे हैं यार चलो जीत रहे हो घर पे ही चीज नहीं करके आए और
hmm,
अगर vote is very critical. Quantity of vote is very important for that is number one. Number two is I have been saying this in podcast. Only Narendra Modi can defeat Narendra Modi. Nobody else. So he has not made any mistake right now. Touchwood. And if he does not continue to make mistake, I don't see anything happening. The places the Congress is hoping against hope that Narendra Modi gets less than 272. Their only game is that. Their game is nothing else beyond that. Please understand. So now where can they hope for that? They will hope कि चलो हिंदी हार्टलैंड में हमारी एक एक दो सीट भी अगर मान लो अलग अलग राज्यों के अंदर आ गए हम अच्छा कर जाएंगे. They can think कि कर्नाटका के अंदर they might be banking. Kerala is one state where they will do well. Kerala is one state where they will do well. Apart from that, Andhra is a state where the national parties are not prominent. I will not be surprised if many leaders from TDP or end up joining the BJP in Andhra. But they have BJP has a good term with YSRCP also. So I honestly feel the challenge will be or the good fight will be in Telangana, where the BJP will like to be the number one party in Lok Sabha. The good fight per se will be in Karnataka, where the BJP will like to repeat its because Karnataka Congress performance of 2014 or 2019. The good fight will be in Bengal. We have to be seeing whether the Muslim vote goes en masse. Why does Mamta want to do alliance with the Congress in Bengal, despite Congress only having two seats where its vote base is more than 40% out of it? The only reason is that Mamta fears that the Muslim vote should not get disunited because of Abbas Siddiqui and others. So Bengal will be a good fight to watch. Bihar will be very interesting to see because Bihar for the first time is seeing is reminding me of 2014 and a weaker Nitish than 2014. So now there are two schools of thought, Kushal. A is that the Mahagathbandhan is strong in Bihar. The B is that the NDA is more than 30. Now I have not started primary polling in Bihar. I will do that after the 22nd. So Bihar will be very interesting to watch. Along with that, the Punjab is something which will be a difficult territory for the Bharatiya Janata Party, which is there. Rest, I feel that they are largely very, very strong in UP, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Odisha. Also, they will do better this time. And Bengal is where if they clock 20 seats in Bengal, Kushal, then they will they can cross 303. If they touch
now
75, if they touch 75 in UP or cross 75, and if they touch 20 in Bengal, then they will easily cross 303.
now the Indi Alliance. All right, I know your first comeback will be, "अरे seat sharing तो बताओ, समझ में ही नहीं आ रही है seat sharing क्या." Let us assume they
They
somehow
have to.
marry.
They will marry. They will somehow marry because the fact that the Congress is willing to sacrifice 150 seats, which means they are marrying. So the Congress knows कि हम किसी भी हालत में मोदी को 270 से कम करने के लिए हमको अपनी जितनी भी सीट्स देनी हो दे दो. That's Rahul's thinking in my analysis. सो इंडी अलायंस में अलायंस आप कह रहे हो कहाँ होगा? पंजाब के अंदर इनका अलायंस नहीं होगा मेरी समझ है, क्योंकि पंजाब में दे डोंट कंसीडर बीजेपी एज द मेन ओपोनेंट. सो देयर थिंकिंग इज कि भाई कांग्रेस या आपके बीच में लड़ाई है, कोई भी सीटें जीतेगा अल्टीमेटली अगर इंडिया अलायंस के साथ में होगी वो अलायंस के उसमें होगी. सो देयर माइट नॉट बी एनी अलायंस इन पंजाब. दे कैन डू एन अलायंस इन दिल्ली where there might be a 4-3 formula which can be worked out or a 5-2, but ideally I think 4-3 is where they will settle on. But again, my reading in Delhi is that apart from 5 to 6 seats are minimum there where the BJP will be very, very, very solid. They have to micromanage 2 seats. So they will do an alliance there. In Bihar also they will do an alliance. There are conflicts, but they will end up doing an alliance. Again, BJP will also be is formulating the strategy of UP 2014 in Bihar 2024 because it's trying to get the smaller parties with it in Bihar. So Bihar will be very interesting to watch. I don't. Bengal also they will do an alliance. So I believe there will be alliance for sure, Kushal. But this alliance is it's a very imaginary alliance. And why do I use that word? Is because it's the alliance of the leaders, not the alliance of the workers. I said the same thing when Sappa and Baspa came together in 2019. I was trolled heavily, but I knew that the workers have conflicting interest in promoting each other, because on the ground they know that if they, first of all, in on the ground, for them it's not a very tall leader. So on the ground, suppose if Kushal Mehra is contesting and Pradeep Bhandari is there, both of them will be eyeing the ticket from that seat, and both of them have been eyeing the same vote base. Pradeep Bhandari knows if Kushal Mehra comes from this, then my Rajniti goes out, and Kushal Mehra knows that if Pradeep Bhandari comes, my Rajniti goes out, and there is no tall leader in that alliance who can cut off these differences. In BJP, all of this does not work because there is a very tall leader. It's a Modi vote. That is not the scenario in the India Alliance. So in this scenario, there is no alliance of the workers which is taking place, and this is where the vote transfer does not take place proportionately, and it's very very important to understand. So even if the alliance take place, as of right now, there is no direct vote and proportional vote transfer which is happening between them in majority of these seats. So yeah.
Yeah, and we have some historical evidence for that. There are two, three reasons from what I have understood is, first of all, individual political cadres, whether they are in Samajwadi Party or Congress or any political outfit for that matter, they have political ambitions, right? And
Yes.
if they get into an alliance, then their ambitions are curtailed. Because if, let's say, you're a Congress worker, you're working for the Congress in Bihar or UP or wherever you are working for them. Now if you are curtailed, then your ambitions are crushed, and when your ambitions are crushed, at the end of the day, look, I have spent enough time working on the ground in elections to know that come the elections, the snubbed Congress worker works equally hard, or if not harder, than the BJP worker for the BJP for money. They're like,
Yeah.
इसने मेरे को ठोका, मैं इसकी ठोकूंगा. Kind of a mentality exists
They don't
big
have
time.
somebody like the RSS or some parivarik व्यक्ति who will sit and say चलो कोई बात नहीं. जैसे मध्य प्रदेश में also the BJP was that much against the Madhya Pradesh BJP government workers, not other outside anti-incumbency. So they got everybody together, they cleared their differences कि भाई चलो सब कुछ एक ही परिवार में. कांग्रेस के सिनेरियो में और ये इंडिया अलायंस में, कांग्रेस तो चलो छोड़ो, इंडिया अलायंस में ये सिनेरियो नहीं है कि आप और कांग्रेसी को आप बैठा के बोलोगे, या कांग्रेसी और कांग्रेस को और सपा को साथ में बैठा के बोलोगे कि चलो कोई बात नहीं, आ जाओ साथ में. वर्कर नहीं समझता भाई, लीडर समझ जाए, उनको पता है नेता है वो, आज नहीं कल पर, आज राज्यसभा में लोकसभा में उसका क्या फर्क पड़ा है, पर वर्कर का समझना इज द की क्वेश्चन. क्योंकि
Yeah.
the worker is more important for the India Alliance in 2024 than it is for the BJP, because for Modi it's the people of the country who are campaigning. For the India Alliance, their people have to slog like hell with each other in order to hope to get certain seats.
Secondly, just to use UP as an analogy, Samajwadi Party workers and let's say BSP or even Congress Party workers, they are a loggerheads at the ground politics. They
Yes.
fight each other, they beat each other up, they take bullets, they are stabbed. A lot of these things happen in political back and forth. And then one fine day you tell all these people to sit together and say abhi koi ladega nahi. This is not like some grand mafiosa thing ki okay, Don Corleone has said now you're not going to fight. They will fight. And come the voting day, who's going to manage the booth? Is it going to be the Sapa guy? Is it going to be the Congress guy? Is it going to be the other person? How are they going to pull this off? Like, election management is a thing. And then who's going to fund whom? Is the Congress going to bring the funds? Is the SP going to bring the funds? Like, how are they going to manage this? There are so many questions, right?
Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. In fact, again, for example, the BSP. The BSP knows that the BSP never used to come in power because of just the SC vote. It was the Brahmins in the upper caste who moved to BSP along with the SCs, which helped it become a winning combination. That was the logic
Hmm.
of having Satish Chandra Mishra. Sappa and Baspa has historically fought against each other. Socially, also the Yadavs and the Dalits. That's where the Yadavs did not end up voting the Dalits did not end up voting the Sappa candidate, and the vote transfer could not take place. So that is, whether it is the Congress, it is not in the interest of Samajwadi Party or the BSP to have a stronger Congress in UP, because they know if that happens, then it will have a ripple effect on them in the run up to assembly election, because majority of these parties have only stakes in the states where they are fighting. Congress, if does not win seats in UP, it can still fight an election in say Karnataka or Telangana, but that doesn't work for a SAPA, and that means that it has lesser geography to get funds and resources for its party to survive, whereas the Congress has comparatively more. So this is where these regional players are more insecure of the Congress rise as of right now than the others. If it's an organic rise, they have to accept it. But if it till the time it's not an organic rise, they do not wish to yield their territory from their heart to Congress, particularly when there is no tall leader in the Congress party at that level.
Not just that, I mean, think about it. Assembly, you made a very valid point talking about their future in the assembly. One more future nobody wants to talk about it is the Gram Panchayat or the city municipal elections, because that's where a major chunk, through all the corruption that these political parties do, that's where their money comes from. Like, people don't realize that Shiv Sena survives on Mumbai.
Yeah,
If they lose BMC, they suffer financially. That's just a fact of
absolutely.
life. Everybody who lives in Mumbai knows that. Just nobody talks about it, but it's a fact. And if these alliances are going to happen, I mean, I just want to take a popcorn, eat it, and just watch these people go at each other, because I'm like, "Hoega kaise ye? How are they going to like, seed each other? Like, this is core space. This is core space, right?"
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely, yes. And I have no second thoughts to that. And this is what I'm saying that, I'll give you another data point that the ability of these alliance people to get a voter who has been a traditional BJP voter is 77% less than the ability of the Bharatiya Janata Party to get a traditional Congress or the Indi Alliance voter for Narendra Modi to vote even after the alliance. So, which means that the core vote of the India Alliance, after this alliance comes into being, has 76% more probability to shift to Prime Minister Narendra Modi's BJP vis-a-vis the ability of the India Alliance to get the core vote of the BJP, which is near to negligible as a chance. So that is exactly what happened with Sappa and Baspa, right? The core Yadavs at places voted the BJP, the core SCs at places voted the BJP.
Hmm. So one more question I had about as a follow up to the
That's
Indi
why the
Alliance,
votes have increased from 42 to 49 for the BJP.
hmm. So what is could this also happen? I'm just a curiosity based question, that let's say the Indi Alliance happens, could there be a reverse polarization in favor of BJP created
Yes.
out of the fear in the voters?
Yes, and along the voters also think कि भैया मोदी कुछ ना कुछ अच्छा ही कर रहा होगा, इसीलिए सब जो पुराने एक दूसरे के खिलाफ लड़ते थे साथ में आ गए थे. If you remember that famous picture of Mamata Banerjee which said that कोई हमसे जो टकराएगा वो चूर चूर हो जाएगा after the JDS and the Congress party came together to form the Karnataka government. Now what is happening? The JDS is with the BJP. So it ended up leading to a reverse polarization. There could not, there cannot, and there will not. There could not, there cannot, and there will not be a stronger arithmetic alliance of the opposition than what was of Sappa and Baspa in UP. That, according to me, was the biggest test of Indi Alliance, which is nothing but rebranded Mahagandbandhan, which is nothing but rebranded UPA. And even after that, if the BJP could end up winning 60 plus seats in UP and increased its vote share, which supports your argument or a conclusion that there can be a reverse polarization which take place. अगर मान लो कुशल तुम अपनी कॉलोनी में रह रहे हो और तुम्हारे तुम्हारे सामने 4 लोग हैं एक दूसरे के खिलाफ लड़ते हैं और अगर वो 4 साथ में आ जाएंगे तो जनता यही सोचेगी ना ये चारों तो सब कुशल के खिलाफ लड़ रहे थे साथ में आ गए मतलब कुशल कुछ ना कुछ या तो बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहा होगा या बहुत खराब काम कर रहा होगा. अब जमीन पे तो कुशल अच्छा काम कर रहा है और ऐसे ही नेशनली मान लो प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी का काम अच्छा दिख रहा है तो फिर थीसिस वो लोगों के मन में यही है ये अच्छा काम कर रहा है इसीलिए उसको हराने के लिए ये सब साथ में आए. This is where it ends up giving advantage to Prime Minister Narendra Modi only, except some strategic seats. That is what I can say.
Okay, so before we wrap up, because I want to wrap up in an hour, what are, in your opinion, going to be, and this is my last question, the key issues now running up to Lok Sabha 2024?
Mandir and Prime Minister Narendra Modi's narrative will be कि मुझसे दिक्कत है तो समझ में आता है, पर प्रभु श्री राम से भी इनको इतनी चिढ़ है कि वो प्रभु श्री राम की प्राण प्रतिष्ठा में नहीं पहुंचे. That is number one. For them, it will be Nyay. There will be videos which will come up from the Nyay, oh, Dalit, Achra, Adivasi, and all of it. But honestly, Kushal, people of India have genuinely, if I'm telling you, as of right now, have made up their mind that they want to see Narendra Modi in 2024. It's just that for us to understand whether it is 270, 280, 300, 350, 400, 250, what it is, this is what we have to investigate into. But don't look at a complete overhaul which is taking place in 2024. You might be surprised if the quantum of votes for the BJP are more than what they are in 2019. Quantum of votes I'm talking about. Seats, I can't do an analysis before last end of February. So issue for me is nothing but Narendra Modi, Ram Mandir, and if something happens in POK, that is it. But for the opposition, they will make it about caste. They will try to make it about North versus South. They'll try to announce some big freebies in their policies. They tried to project Kharge as the prime ministerial contestant, thinking that Dalit card will happen. But Rahul Gandhi was more angry and was more insecure than the other leaders. In fact, if you remember, you forgot a very important thing which took place. Nitish Kumar has declined to be the convener of the Indi Alliance, for which he was waiting since ages, because he may
Hmm.
also have sensed the ground. If you remember, what was the news that Nitish will contest from Phulpur in
Hmm.
Uttar Pradesh? He all dropped
Hmm.
that plan, which means either he's trying to cozy up to the BJP, or number two, he knows that in 2024, if he becomes the convener of the India Alliance, all the alliance partners will say that it is because of Nitish, it is not the loss of Rahul Gandhi, it is not the loss of other leaders, it's the loss of Nitish Kumar, who we projected as the India Alliance. So, कोई भी ना डूबती हुई नाव में पाँव नहीं डालना चाह रहा है इंडिया अलायंस में, इसीलिए इनके पास कोई एक यूनानिमस नेता नहीं है. अगर इनको पता होता कि इनकी नाव तैर रही होती, तो ये कोई ना कोई सब रेडी होते, हम भी बनेंगे पीएम, हम भी बनेंगे पीएम, हम भी बनेंगे पीएम. पर इनमें जो पीएम बन रहा है बोले हमें मत बनाओ, हमें मत बनाओ, हमें मत बनाओ. इनको पता है कि नाव डूब रही है.
It's very interesting. I think in 2024 Lok Sabha election is going to be a fascinating battle because for a lot of old war horses in Indian politics, I think this is the last straw. A lot of old faces are going to go and new faces are going to come in
Yes,
2029 politics.
disruption, it's a year of disruption.
Hmm. So, yeah, Pradeep, it is an absolute.
One thing will remain constant is your podcast, for which I will, wherever I am, I will ensure that I have a good haircut and always come to it. This is the most on a podcast. Trust me on this.
Yeah. Pradeep is very disciplined, I have to say. When Pradeep had come to Bombay, I mean, I took him out to a cafe and sala, he ended up eating less. मैं ही सारा खाना खा गया बाद में. So Pradeep, as always, it's an absolute pleasure talking to you, brother. Looking
Same here.
forward to many more discussions.
Thank you so much, and extremely amazing to be in your podcast. Thank you so much. Pleasure.
All right, guys, we'll wrap it up. So before we wrap it up, in the description of the podcast, you'll see Pradeep's Twitter handle. Go follow him. Go check out Jan Ki Baat,
Thank you.
Jan Ki Baat, their polls, everything. Look at the numbers. And if you want to support me, you know the drill. Primarily, if you want to support this podcast, become a member of this podcast. So you can become a member on YouTube, Patreon, Fanmo, wherever you are in the world. Pick one platform, join the membership. You can buy the merchandise on kushalmehra.com. You can send your donations to UPI. If you can't do any of that and you're an audio listener on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you are, just leave a rating there, leave a comment or a review on iTunes. If you're on YouTube, like this video, subscribe to the Cārvāka podcast channel, and leave a comment in the comment section. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.